It's only fitting I talk about ghostwriting. I'm pretty much as pale as one. What's crack-a-lack, literary geeks? Happy Thursday. While the publishing industry is rife with scary stories and crawling with horror novels, there is a scary, intimidating legend that might be outside your door as we speak. This thing might be somebody that you know. It could even be you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm talking about ghostwriting. Why? What'd you think I was going to talk about? Ghostwriting as a whole is kind of a weird topic because everyone seems to have an opinion on it, and no one really knows if it exists in the general public. Kind of like a real ghost. I'm here today to dispel some of the myths and maybe inform you a little bit more. Ghostwriting is when an author writes a piece of their own and it gets published as not their own. There are three main types of ghostwriting. Number one is a ghostwriter sitting down with the person who wants to write and using their words and their ideas. In this case, you would probably chat with the author of the book and use their words. They might send you rough drafts and you clean it up. Number two is their ideas and your words. So a company will say, we really need somebody to write a book about this, and an author will say, I'll do that. In this case, someone would pay you to write an outline or a transcript, and you have to do all the research yourself, and you don't really get any outside resources to help you. Number three is your ideas and your words. This is where someone would pay you to come up with your own idea, write your own book, and then have it published under someone else's name. Now, I know even with those examples, I'm sure some of you are still non-believers. You're like, Rachel, I've never seen a ghostwriter. I don't really think they exist. Well, let me burst that bubble of ectoplasm for you and say, have you ever followed a famous person's Twitter account? Examples of everyday ghostwriting include social media posts from big name or very busy celebrities, company or product emails to the consumer or the rest of the company, and a lot of articles on websites that publish content that you couldn't even imagine. Big name authors that maybe already have a secure career and don't want to write more but maybe have ideas would hire ghostwriters. Does everyone know James Patterson? Does the name ring a bell? Yeah, you know he has a ridiculous release publishing schedule. There is no way that he himself can write and edit and publish all of those in that amount of time. Even if he didn't sleep and was like on 6 types of drugs, it's just not possible. They'll often hire someone to write that story for them, and at the end, when the entire thing is published, usually will have 2 authors' names. Kind of the like producer of the novel and the actual author. That's why you see a lot of somebody with somebody as the cover title authors. There are a ton of advantages and disadvantages to ghostwriting, and so here are some of both. I did a lot of research before I did this video, and one of the main things that I found from ghostwriters kind of writing about their experiences online is they say that it's really great because they have all of these resources extended to them. I was reading one about a man who was writing a nonfiction book on ancient Egypt, and he already had this researcher do all of this research and have all the facts for him, so they basically just handed it over and said, make it pretty. There's another writer that writes under multiple names for various different genres, and she really likes it because she can experiment and try out a bunch of different things without having to stick to one brand. Plus, depending on where you go, ghostwriting pays pretty well. It will completely change about what country and what exact type of thing that you're writing. You can make bank constantly churning out romance fantasies that go on Amazon for 99 cents, or by constantly publishing articles for a well-known fashion website. Most of the cons ultimately go under it not being a representation of you and your work being represented by someone else. This can make it really difficult if you're trying to get a writing portfolio together, or if you do truly want to make a name for yourself in the industry. That being said, in some research that I was doing, I found a lot of ghostwriters didn't really want the fame and fortune. They just wanted to write, and this was a good outlet for them to do so. They said that they got to meet and work with a lot of really cool people to write a variety of books over things that they may not have thought of themselves. And while we all hope that our new, freshly written manuscript is going to be the New York Times best-selling novel of the century, and that it's going to be made required reading in school, and people are going to be screaming and crying when they meet you, and you're going to have a 6-movie deal, that doesn't often happen. So a lot of ghostwriters write a lot of stuff as a way of getting a steady paycheck, but also being able to constantly do their craft without worrying about if it's going to sell or not. It's already sold, you just have to write it. Please leave down below if you have any experiences with this. I actually didn't really think about this until one of my friends told me that she was ghostwriting, and she's writing abroad now, so she's studying in Germany, I think, and this is how she gets another source of income when she doesn't speak German. That's super cool! Make sure to tune in on Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube for our live chat, and I will see you guys all there. Bye!